The e-Learning Center at Prince Sultan University presents this webinar on conducting exams using PSU-approved official platforms. In this webinar, we will guide you through recommendation and tips of conducting exams using Moodle and Net support. So let's get started. Tip 1. Use only quiz mode for your exam questions. Always place your questions within a password-protected Moodle quiz exam. You can set different question types like MCQs, true, false, drag and drops, or essays within the Moodle quiz exam. Tip 2. If your exam requires a submission, you can place the exam question in a protected quiz and have students submit through assignments and turn it in. Tip 3. Hide unnecessary resources. Hide all resources that are not required during the exam, such as presentation slides, books, or previous activities. Tip 4. Set open, close time and time limit. Set the period when the exam will be available to students and the time limit for the exam. You can also set a grace period by giving extra 2 to 5 minutes for student joining in bit late, login challenges and so on. Tip 5. Automatically submit attempts. Set the option to automatically submit attempts when time expires or the exam window closes. This ensures that no attempts are lost. Tip 6. Control exam navigation. Recommended setting is to have each question to new page, and you can set the exam to either free navigation, students can move freely between pages, or sequential navigation, students must proceed in order. Tip 7. Randomize question order. Shuffle the order of questions between students to prevent cheating. Tip 8. Uncheck review option. During final exams, keep the review option unchecked to prevent students from seeing their grades on Moodle. Grades should only be displayed on Educate during final exams. Tip 9. Set exam password. Create a strong password for the exam and share it only with instructors or invigilators. Password should not be obvious, must be more than 6 alphanumeric characters. Tip 10. The password must be entered by the instructor or invigilator. Tip 11. Make sure to select the browser security option, full screen pop-up. Tip 12. Use group mode. Create multiple versions of the exam and assign them to different groups. Tip 13. Set number of attempts. Allow only one attempt to prevent students from retaking the exam outside the exam hall. Tip 14. For final exams, ITC, ELC is prepared to have only lab access for Moodle exam, no Wi-Fi, no external access. Tip 15. Use of Net support to block all external access. Tip 16. Make sure to verify the student ID is same as his/her login ID. Tip 17. No mobile phones, no laptops are allowed during exams. If faculty need access to some software, it must be communicated to ITC 2 weeks before exam time and assist in setting up the lab. Tip 18. Course instructors are required to inform ELC, ITC at least 1 week before their exam if they need to block access to certain websites in the exam hall. Tip 19. Students should not leave the exam hall before the invigilator has verified that students have submitted the final exam, by clicking the button, Submit All and Finish. Tip 20. Once the exam time is over, the course instructor is required to hide the exam from their LMS course. Tip 21. If any special case students are going to take the quiz. Duplicate the quiz, then change the quiz time settings, name accordingly, and restrict access based on student email. Tip 22. Take few printed copies of exam for emergency cases, connectivity issues, login challenges. Furthermore, kindly navigate through the exam guidelines that is shared via email. Additionally, please note that for the support request, Make sure to submit a support request for your exam 3 working days before your exam date to ensure that ELC staff is available to provide the needed support, even outside official working hours via remote support. Also, Mail Campus's exam support link is announced once on a weekly basis. Moreover, as required, PSU final examination cover sheet must be added to the Moodle course and exam. An announcement will be shared including these steps on how to add the cover sheet. Moving on to tips on using Net Support. Tip 1. Net Support on the instructor PC allows you to open an account on all students' PCs, and this can be done by navigating to Student Toolbar button and select Login. Tip 2. You can also send files to all student and collect the files as well by selecting Send and Collect Files button and choose if you want to send or collect work. Tip 3. You can also transfer multiple folders to individual or to all students by clicking Files Transfer. Tip 4. By clicking on the Internet icon, you can block all or certain websites through Net Support. Tip 5. In addition, by clicking on the Web tab and navigating to History option, you can view students' web browsing history. Tip 6. Moreover, you can monitor students' web browsing history and activity in real time using the Monitors icon. From this icon, you can also enter exam passwords for students individually. Tip 7. You can control access to students' USB and CD drives by clicking on the CD and USB icon. Lastly, to request Moodle support on the female campuses, kindly fill out the ITC support form. Thank you for watching, and we wish you the best of luck in your exams.